They thought they could fire me halfway through the year for not hitting an impossible target. My manager even smirked and said she'd hire a professional production house to finish my work. She had no idea. That move would cost her job, humiliate the director, and make me more money than I ever made working there. And the best part? She never saw it coming. If you've ever had a toxic boss who treated you unfairly, this story is going to feel like sweet justice. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. This all happened back in the early 2010s before YouTube was what it is today. Back then, being a content creator wasn't glamorous. There weren't thousands of tutorials, editing apps, or plug-and-play templates. Every video was a grind from scratch. So when a local university offered me a full-time job as their in-house YouTube content creator, I jumped on it. The pay? About $2,200 a month. Not amazing, but back then it was something. I told myself, this could be a stepping stone, a chance to build a portfolio and maybe launch something bigger. But on my second day, my manager dropped a bombshell. She smiled sweetly and said, "Here's your KPI for the year. We need 85 videos, each between 3 and 10 minutes. And we want them all up within 52 weeks. 85 videos. In 1 year. By myself." Now remember, this wasn't TikTok. This wasn't Shorts. This was full scripting, producing, casting talent, shooting, editing, music composition, graphics, uploading. And guess what? I had to use my own equipment. Their gear was ancient, barely able to handle 720p, let alone 1080. I told my manager it was impossible for one person. She gave me a fake sympathetic smile and said, "Just do your best. Don't worry about the quantity if the quality is good." Naively, I believed her. For the first month, she was nice, supportive even. But then one day during a casual chat, I mentioned that I was a smoker. Her smile froze. Her eyes narrowed. Later, a colleague pulled me aside and whispered, "Oh no, she hates smokers. She tries to get them fired whenever she can." From that day forward, her entire attitude changed. Suddenly, nothing I did was good enough. If I came in 5 minutes late, never mind the fact I was working 4 hours overtime every day, she would call me out. If I came back from break and smelled faintly of smoke, she'd wrinkle her nose in disgust. If I wasn't instantly reachable during my unpaid lunch, she'd make it an issue. It wasn't about performance anymore. It was personal. But I kept my head down. I told myself, just survive the year. Do the work. Build your portfolio. 5 months in, I was called into the director's office. My stomach churned the moment I walked in and saw my manager sitting there. Her face twisted into this fake, concerned expression, but her eyes were gleaming. She looked like a cat about to pounce. The director's voice was cold. "We're disappointed. It's halfway through the year, and you've only finished 30 out of 85 videos." I felt my heart drop. I tried to explain. "I'm a one-man team. I work 60+ hours a week. These videos are the most viewed content on your entire channel." I even reminded them. My manager told me quality was more important than quantity. The director waved it off. "The KPI is 85. You're not meeting it. We think it's best to cut ties now." And that's when my manager smirked and said, "Don't worry. We'll hire a professional production house to finish the work." The director nodded, fully on her side. I was stunned, angry. But in that moment, a light bulb went off in my head. You see, one of my side duties had been to maintain a database of production houses we could call for big projects. And guess who controlled that list? Me. I knew my manager had no industry contacts. If they fired me and went to that database, they'd use my list. So before I packed up my desk, I sabotaged it. I changed all the contact numbers and emails to dead ends. Except for one. A small production house where my friend worked as a junior director. I called him up and laid it out. "Listen, my university is about to hire a production company. If you play this right, this could be 6 months of work worth high 6 figures. I'll teach you exactly how to pitch to win them over. All I want is a 15 finder's fee." He was in. His general manager was in. And just like that, the trap was set. 2 days later, the university reached out, straight to my friend's company, the only one with working info. My friend nailed the pitch. With my insider coaching, he seemed like the perfect fit. He understood the themes, the style, the vision the director wanted, because I had given him the playbook. The director and my manager were blown away. They signed the contract on the spot. Now here's the kicker. Back then, hiring a professional production house wasn't cheap. Each video cost double or triple my monthly salary. But the upside for them was speed. They could pump out a polished video every 2 to 3 days. Over the next 4 months, my friend's company delivered 50 videos. That's over 100 times my old monthly salary and project cost. And me? I sat back, relaxed, and collected my 15 cut. That alone was worth 15 months of my salary. Enough to fund a long holiday, and even enroll in a respected film school overseas. At that point, I thought my revenge was complete. They fired me unfairly. I walked away with money in my pocket, and my manager had to swallow her pride knowing my replacement cost 10 times more. But karma wasn't done yet. One sunny morning while I was sipping a drink in Bali, I got a call from my old colleague, the one who had warned me about the manager's hatred of smokers. Her voice was almost giddy. "You won't believe this. Your manager just got fired." And the director? The chancellor chewed her out in front of everyone. Turns out the content creation project had only been budgeted for about a year and a half of my salary, roughly $3 grand. But my manager, desperate to save face, had approved to spend over 10 times that amount, without the chancellor's consent. The director had blindly trusted her, and now both of them were under fire. My manager was canned. The director's reputation was in tatters. And me? I was sitting on a beach, living my best life, with cash in my pocket and the satisfaction of knowing justice had been served. They fired me for being too slow. They thought they could replace me easily. Instead, my revenge made sure the only thing they replaced was their own jobs. The same manager who sneered at me for smoking lost everything. The director who dismissed my hard work was humiliated by the chancellor. And the university wasted 10 times the budget, all because they underestimated me. And I walked away with more money, a better career, and a story that still makes me smile to this day. It's funny how life works. Sometimes revenge doesn't come from screaming or fighting. It comes from patience, planning, and letting arrogance destroy itself. Never underestimate the quiet person who seems powerless, because sometimes they're the one holding all the strings. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma comes back harder than anyone expected.